What was the kudos around being in the Golden Age? Was it just internal, or was it a knowledge? Did people know about it around the country?
I think they did. I mean, the Kneller Hall trumpeters had always been well known from the number of coronations before, and they were always featured at Westminster Abbey. In fact, we almost went there once a week for various services, Commonwealth services, whatever they were, but just to play a few hymns, descants with the hymns, and fanfares.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was good fun, yeah. It was hard work because it obviously meant that you were losing class time. But nevertheless, it was definitely worth it. It was an experience.
Any good moments with the Royals when you were doing all those?
Quite a few. I don't recall too many. But in the vestry of Prince Charles, obviously, there was a number of people there that, from the royal family who were busy organising the event, and we were involved with that as well, yeah.
Why did you decide to move then from the Hussars to the Black Watch? What was the thinking there?
From where, sorry?
To the Black Watch. You went to the Black Watch.
Well, when you leave as a student, you don't get a choice of where you go. You're called up to the Commandant's office when a vacancy occurs, and whoever's next in line. And when a vacancy occurs, then next in line gets it. So you're lined up. It's called a line-up. And you stand outside the Commandant's office, no idea where you might be going because you don't know what's coming up. And it just happened to be at the time that I was ready to, I was the next in line, that the Black Watch became available.
And where did you finish in your class?
I joined the Black Watch in Hong Kong.
Where did you finish in the bandmaster course? What number were you after you passed out?
I can't remember the actual number. About 13 or 14, I think, in total out of 20 odd. Yeah.
And how did you feel to get the Black Watch?
Well, to be quite honest, I didn't know very much about them. I didn't know very much about the Scottish regiments. I very rarely come across them, apart from the odd tattoo here and there. But I had befriended somebody that was in the Black Watch, and he came as a student the year after me. So when I was appointed, then he was able to help me and get me wearing a kilt, which was wearing it for the first time was a little bit embarrassing, I must admit. 2 or 3 times. First of all, with my family, I had to wear it in the house, which I lived across the road here. That was a little bit embarrassing, but they soon got used to that, and they were fine with that. And then the next time was walking out in it. But fortunately, my first posting with the Black Watch was Hong Kong, so that wasn't really a problem. I mean, everyone was wearing kilts, and the whole battalion, which was about 1,000 stronger those days, were all wearing kilts.
Just explain, you must know this now, but just for people who have got no idea, why the kilt? What is the official reason that the Black Watch wear the kilt? Well,
it's a Highland regiment, and the Highland regiments were given the authority to wear kilts by Queen Victoria. There are Lowland regiments as well. In those days, there were 3 Highland regiments and 4 Lowland regiments. The Lowland regiments wore trews, tartan trews, and the Highland regiments wore the kilts.
And why did it take some getting used to?
Well, I think displaying your knees, was, but I was told that mine weren't too bad. So, and I think once I got over the incident with my family and had them on board, then I was fine. Nothing worried me after that.
I'm just trying to remember, when was the handing over of Hong Kong?
I'd left by then. It was 97.
I mean, you've done Germany, and you hadn't really been overseas then at this point. So what was it like going to join your regiment in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, they worked a long day. I mean, they started at 7 in the morning. Our work schedule started at 7, but finished at 1. So the afternoons were mainly spent, if we didn't have an engagement on, they were mainly spent relaxing by the pool or with the family.
And what were you doing out there?
We were doing a lot of public relations engagements, a lot of concerts, a lot of societies that we played for, they did dinners and whatever. We used to have a big dance band as well. We used to perform at local hotels. And obviously the odd parade for the local population. And then we went to, from Hong Kong, we went to Colchester. We were very fortunate to record a record which got into the charts. We went to on top of the pops of the band, and the London Palladium topped the bill.
What was the song?
Scotch on the Rocks.
And how did you find the effect of Scotch on the Rocks in terms of the notoriety of the Black Watch?
Oh, it certainly helped. I mean, we got offers for all kinds of things after that. I mean, we were doing concert tours around the country, you know, Black Watch Spectaculars, 14, 15 concerts in succession around the country. We went to America twice on 2 long tours. In 1976 for the American Bicentennial, and in 1979 we went just as a Black Watch Spectacular. Which included Canada, of course. Yeah, they were long tours, 3-month tours.
And what were they like to be part of? And what were you doing there? What was the sort of?
We were performing in arenas, hockey rinks. It was a marching band tour, and every night we were in a different city.
And were you working with American bands?
No. On the first tour in '76, we worked with the Royal Marines, and we did 76 cities in 79 days, I think it was. Yeah.
That's hard work.
It was a lot of travelling. It was quite an experience. We started off in the north, worked our way all down to New Orleans, and then across into California, and worked our way right up into Canada, across Canada and back down again, and finishing up at the Madison Square Gardens.
And what do you remember of going on top of the pops and stuff?
Yeah, well, that was quite an experience.
Who was the DJ? Was it Tony Blackman?
I think he was, yeah. I have photographs of it somewhere in the archives, but yes. And we had a photograph taken with Pan's people, who were on at the time as well. Yeah, it was quite an experience, really, yeah.
What do you think about CAPE and keeping the army in the public eye? Were you doing much of?
Yeah, we did an awful lot of that, especially in Scotland, because the Black Watch obviously recruited in Scotland. That was a prime recruiting area. So we did a tour probably once a year for about 2 weeks, travelling around the recruiting area, playing concerts and parades and whatever. And I think it achieved some success.
How much contact do you have with the public when you're doing events like this?
Quite a lot, a lot. You know, they would come up and talk and want to discuss things. A lot of people who've already served in the forces would like to sort of tell you all about their experiences. But and then there were a lot of young people that wanted to join, and I think we were probably a little bit responsible for having, you know, recruited a number of people.
Were you back here when you recorded all the bugle calls with Gordon Turner?
I did a recording of bugle calls with Gordon Turner, which went on to a CD somewhere, but I think that's all I've done myself, bugle and trumpet calls of the army.
When you're not doing the musical side, did you do stuff, you know, did you do non-musical but military
Yes.
work?
Yes, we did. I mean, there were times when the battalion or the regiment went on exercise, and as a consequence, there were the minimum number of staff left in the barracks or the camp to look after the camp. So the band's role in those days was to take over the duties in the camp, like the guards and whatever. Yes, so that's what we did. It didn't occur very often, probably 2 or 3 weeks a year at the very most. There were enough people that were left to share it with the band, so we were still able to do some engagements as well in that period.
Never did any medical work then?
Yes, we did medical training to MA3 standards. The whole band were qualified for that.
But you never actually put yourself in a situation where you were doing that?
No, we never went to war really, but on exercise, a few of the band actually went with the battalion on exercise to act as medics.